Hey guys, before you get into the episode, this is Shon letting you know that I'm officially a brand ambassador for Lift Life. Lift Life is a fitness brand that focuses on selling fitness apparel and fitness equipment for all your workout needs. And what makes them so distinguishable from the rest of the brand is their ability to take street trends and implement them into their line of work. And honestly, I've been a fan of all the things that they have. It's been amazing, and I want you guys to be part of the experience. So if you go check out at the bottom of the description, you will see a link to Lift Life. And if you purchase now, you get to use my code, THESAFEROOM, to get 10% off your purchase. So make sure you go check out the link and make sure you again use the code THESAFEROOM to get 10% off your purchase. I know it changed my life, and I hope it changes your life as well. Now, on to the episode.
Okay.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Safe Room. I am your host, the President, Shon Williams. We're back with another episode. The presidential run. It's almost coming to an end, guys, but we're going to tough it out for a couple more episodes. You know what it be? I was about to say, you know what it be, CAP. Oh my gosh. The wrong podcast.
Wrong. Get to the point.
Right, guys. And the reason why I was about to say it because, honestly, this guest I have, he used to be part of this said podcast I was about to go on to Court Advantage, and now I got him on the Safe Room. Today, we got Thien. Thien, what's up?
That's good. How about you?
Nothing much, bro. Just, the typical panoramic that's happening, university classes, all the stress. It's just a normal week.
Yeah, too bad we're not recording at 8:30.
Yeah.
Shit. Those are the fun. That was funny.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. I got a response. We'll figure it out if I ever figure out a way to fit it in.
Yeah, probably.
Or maybe not.
Anyway, guys.
Go ahead.
Okay, so today we have a very interesting conversation for you. We might be sharing a couple of our personal experience based on this topic, and we're going to get to a very important aspect of it. But all I have to say is this. Every person always has a inspiring dream or wants to be a leader or be a voice, whether it's in the community or just from a bigger stage. But people need to realize that every leader has its crew. Every star has its cast. And every person who gets to the top always has their friends and their loved ones supporting them. And you're probably wondering, Shon, we know this already. This isn't something you have to tell us. Au contraire, because even though that's something you may know, it's something about applying it as well. Because you may know and you'd be like, oh yes, I understand. But listen, I can even put my hands up. There's even times where I don't even realize that there's people supporting me, and I try to distance myself because I'm like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. So Thien and I, we're here to share our personal experience in the representation of student clubs. Oh yes.
Ooh.
It's about to get nasty. It's about to get real personal. I mean, for anyone who we've been in clubs with, please, this is a huge disclaimer. We are not talking any trash. We're not. We're just gonna share our personal experience, how it's been. And
I won't. Nothing. Not about you, man. But I won't. Well, maybe I will. I don't know.
Well, it came from Tien's words, not mine. Okay, guys. Anyway, we're gonna just share our personal experience, and then we're gonna tie it all back into why it does matter that you should not only have those loved ones, but also have the awareness as well to understand which ones are supporting, which ones are just not gonna be there by your side. So, let's get into it. I kind of want to start with Thien because I know you're coming in hot. I already feel the energy.
I did, but I didn't do anything.
No, I feel like the moment I said okay, we're gonna be talking about student clubs, you're like, we're not gonna try to bash anyone. You're like, I might. That was literally what you said right after. You said you might.
Maybe not. Depends on my mood.
Okay. Okay then. So I mean, I know for the people who watch Court Advantage, they know who you are. For the people for the Safe Room, maybe you would like to tell them what you do,
That's that. Just what I do.
Yes, what you do, like what's some things that your favorite hobbies, anything that's interested about yourself?
I didn't think I this far. Give me a second. Okay, I got it. Anyway, my name is T. Oh wait, do I say my name? Damn it! Wait. Give me a sec. Okay, so I'll just say my name. What? No, wait. What was I gonna say? Give
Tien,
me.
are you
Okay.
good?
Sorry.
Do we need to go to commercial, like a break?
Anyway, my name is Thien. I used to be part of the Code Advantage podcast. I think for now, like it's just I've been busy. I have other things going on in my life. And let's see. Well, wait. Okay, so I graduated in York back in 2019. And ever since then, until I got my job last year, I was basically job searching. Oh yeah, that was fun. And guess what happened just a few months later? Starts with a P.
Yeah.
Yeah, job searching in a pandemic is not fun, man.
It is not.
Oh my god. On top of like safety protocols, job postings will just go left and right. It's like this is available, then it's not. Put that the boards randomness. Hey, we're open, we're closed, we're open, we're closed. It's like, how do I get a job exactly? Eventually I got one in retail. Don't get me wrong, but it's in retail, man. In a
Yeah.
pandemic. In person.
Mm.
Oh, that was fun. So I currently work at the UPS store for the past year as a retail sales associate. So far, so it's been a pretty good job, relatively speaking to the pandemic. But it gives me something to do and keeps me busy. And that job has its fun moments on the customer side, anyway. Oh my god! Just ask me a question.
No. That's a good to hear that like things are going well like your job.
Yeah.
It's like I know what it feels to be like doing something and then they just like the pandemic comes in or they let you go. It's rough.
It is.
Like it's the worst feeling that you can possibly imagine because it's all like I didn't ask for this.
Mm-hmm.
So like now I'm kind of stuck. I'm scavenging, trying to find other opportunities, but then it's like nothing's moving along. Like, have you ever like applied for a job and then like they're telling you, oh, we'll get back to you regardless if like you made it or not, just to let you know what's happening, and you're waiting for months and months and nothing comes back to you.
Exactly. Like, oh my gosh, yo. Like the job application process is like during before like, I had this job, the job search wasn't very fun. Like you look at the job postings. Even to this day, they still say, "Hey man, we need full-time availability for part-time hours," and I'm like, "Why?" Like seriously, they still do that. And I'm like, "Why?"
It's like fix your shit. Like, well, like don't be like playing with stuff like that. That makes no sense.
Oh, and 10-hour shift. Oh yeah, that's fun.
Oh man.
They put it for a minimum wage job. I'm like, buddy, yeah,
Yo,
that's great.
listen, we're calling out the government, man. Y'all gotta do something with these wages, and man, I know they ain't gonna increase it, but like y'all gotta do something. Like, there's too much minimum wage jobs out there still. Like, what's going on?
And don't get started on enforcing that vaccine passport requirement. Thankfully, I don't have to deal with it, but imagine being a restaurant owner. Ugh.
Oh my goodness. I mean, there's already
You,
been like stuff on Six Bus, people going crazy in like Tim Hortons places. Tim Hortons, like, come on now.
I can confirm. I've seen that. Like, ugh, God, like, guys, you know this. They tell you in advance, surprisingly, that there's a vaccine passport. Just show that you have proof and move on. If you don't have your proof, then don't go. Like, why make a fuss about it? Do it on Doug Ford's lawn or something. I don't know. I don't endorse that. I'm just saying, like, protest at the place where you can make a difference, not a hospital.
Yeah, no, it's really rough. It just caused for more conflict and turmoil. Where like even like just like the election just passed and people are still like arguing over stuff like this. Not to say that's important, but it just goes to show that the government they're not doing a great job in terms of like how everything is like transpiring with this whole like vaccine passport, despite the fact they announced it like weeks ahead or like days ahead, whatever the case is.
And we still have to wait for the app that they could have just taken from another province. Cough, cough. I don't know how
Yeah.
Doug Ford's gonna make it. I mean, do we have to spend money to make our own app? Really, Mr. Ford? You spent on your license plates?
No, it's rough. It's rough. But
Mhm.
kind of like let's get into the discussion and everything.
Oh
So
yeah, right. What we're here for.
no, no, it's cool, man. Like
Yeah.
I told you, like it's gonna happen. One thing you can guarantee on the safe room, we are going to get off topic. It's just gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. So I could give my personal experience first, and then we can go to you, Tien, right
Yeah.
after. So if anyone knows, especially during my high school days, like I was in everything. Like I was doing like student council. I was part of the athletic association. I was doing like band, like musical and stuff. Like all the different like events. Like I was everywhere. So I've had like a very keen experience in that department in terms of like working with people, understanding, how everyone approaches like certain objectives or responsibilities and like club scenarios. And I'm just gonna say it because I hope I'm not being very like disrespectful and too sensitive, but I feel like if I didn't say it, then I would just wouldn't be honest. Most of the time, I prefer that I work with people that are going to share the same passion as me. I don't want to be working with people that's like, okay, you're just here, and you're just in the club. You're not really trying to like see, okay, what's the most I can get out of it, or how can I help in the best possible manner. It's more of just like I'm just in the club and I just do what I need to do, and that's it. And granted, like grant the fact that yes, it's a student club in high school. Like this is not a job. You're not getting paid, and I get it. But at the same time, what I've learned like through those experiences is that you actually obtain skills where that it can be applied later down the line within like a job. Because let's say you're going for an interview today and you had no club experience. So you don't know in the sense of like what does it mean to be working with individuals who share different ideologies and different values. You don't know what it means to actually get an objective done. You don't know what it means to put on like different events. So when you go for the interview and they ask you like, do you have any like leadership and everything in terms of like clubs, community involvement, and you say no, it's like I wasn't even trying to get clubs. Then the people are looking at you like, what the heck were you doing during high school? Then were you just showing up to show up? And
Yeah, man.
no, for real though, it's like, did you just show up and like you were just forced and you didn't try to make the best out of it? Because one thing I hear a lot about people too, they're like their high school experience was bad, and I'm like, well, did you try go to like join any clubs? Like, no, not really. I'm like, why not? I mean, I'm not your parents. I can't tell you what you to do, but I mean, damn, like you could have tried something. It's just me, but for my personal experience, it was just a lot. Now, like again, there was good moments and then there was bad moments. I would probably not like to share the bad moments because again, I don't want to be like that person that's just always negative, negative, negative. Um, I will say the positive moments is that I've worked with so many great individuals who not maybe not at some point share the same thoughts as me, but shared such unique, aspects about themselves that it made me grow better as a person and to become more of a leader. Like I don't think people know this, and like this may shock you. I was a
Mm-hmm.
very shy person. Like
Huh?
yeah, like I didn't like to talk that much. I really didn't.
I
Like
don't count. I don't see that. I don't see that. You're the president. That makes no sense. Like, come on. Your friends call you the president.
no,
I'm not seeing it. Maybe in
it's
grade one or
true.
two, but
It's
I
true.
highly doubt it. I call
Listen,
cap. There
listen.
was no way.
I can go call shit out right now. And she'll tell you like I was a quiet person. Man. Like listen, back then, like especially like my middle school days, I didn't say nothing. I was like, I'm a stick to my books, get my grades. I wasn't trying to get in the clubs. I wasn't even
Mhm.
trying to hang with all the crazy people or anything like that. I was very reserved. But when I got to high school, I told myself, okay, let me try to do a little bit more. And my biggest worry, and again, this was all the superstitions, all the like different assumptions about Downview specifically. Everyone's like, oh, it's a bad school. It's really dangerous and everything. Like, oh, like you're not gonna have a good time. And like, granted, like I would say those assumptions were like stretched a little bit too far. I mean, obviously, it still gets that perception and those different like views from outside people because again, like the TDSB does a bad job trying to like just moderate different resource and give support to these schools. But even my 4 years, I'm like, what was bad about Down? You just needed a push. You just needed someone that could just go out there and like, hey, say, hey, I'm behind you guys. Like I want to be here and I want to like see this school grow. And like I just took a chance, and I had people at the time who shared that same passion, and that's where I was like, wow, like I really thought I was just by myself, just alone. So from there, I got to be involved with more stuff, and people were encouraging me. They're like, "Yo, like you're really smart, you're really talented. You should do this." I'm like, "You sure?" I'm like, "What if like someone thinks like it's stupid? Or, like most people think it's just ridiculous." It's like, look, man, like you shouldn't care what other people think. Like just do what you want to do. So like from there, all the different moments for being in clubs, running different events, it made me grow more as a person, and it made me appreciate that what we're really here to do is not just like think about ourselves, but more like help others build up to a certain level that they can pass it on. So it's like a chain reaction. Like everyone's trying to help each other in this like small community. So yeah, that's kind of like my personal experience. It's been like amazing. It's been such a great life lesson for me. So like I said, there's been bad moments. I don't want to go too into deep into that, but yeah, that's about it. Tien, I mean, how do you feel about your personal experience? If,
From my personal experience, like I'd say I wouldn't say this. To put it nicely, I could say like even for me, I was like from elementary, secondary, and even like for first few years in university. I mean, I was pretty quiet too, man. I feel like that's something that it could have happened maybe like for one of us. Like you start up like, I go to school, I go home, I take classes. Eventually, when you start to get involved, that's when your personality starts to show. It's when you stop being lazy and you start doing stuff. It's kind of hard to find how I got involved. Like sometimes it just takes a chance. Like try something new. Yeah,
mm,
I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. Try it out. You never know if you like it. Like for me, I started off like I didn't really get involved in school or even in university until around I'd say maybe a few years into university. Like I'm old, man. I just felt lazy. I just went to class. I went home, hanged out the library. Maybe I took a nap. I don't know what I did at university for the first half. It was okay, but it wasn't memorable. It was until I got involved by just looking for opportunities to volunteer. And then from there, and that's where you got for me, like going from volunteering doing orientation to all of a sudden being a peer mentor, and then now being part of Buso, and then having a work study job on top of that. It definitely made the second half of my year more interesting, to say the least.
mm, I get it. I get it for sure, man. I know there has to be like moments as well, like you're kind of like building yourself up, but there's also times where it's just like, am I going too far? Am I doing too much? Because again, like I don't know how I was like in so many clubs back in Downju, and even like York, I wasn't in like a huge amount of clubs, but like I was still finding a way to do so much, especially like since we were both in Buso. I was the first year rep, but I also wanted to do like the club podcast as well. I was
Yeah.
part of like Vanier Athletic at the time. I'm like, I'm in my first year. I shouldn't even be like thinking about stuff like this. I should be like looking at my marks and like get my readings done. Yet I'm here like doing three separate things.
I mean, those were fun, man. Like, oh my god, that VCC outfit. They had a pool table. Why didn't you tell us there was a pool table?
Bro, I thought you knew. You were there before me. I'm
I know,
thinking
but
like,
I don't just go to some random spot being like, hey, there's a pool spot. You could have told me. That would have been fun, man. I wouldn't have to go and pay money at the.
that right there opens another question. So you said you didn't know about that. So like, do you
Yeah.
feel like if you're trying to like connect with people and like it's not within your view to be like, you know what, I see there's a group of people, they're probably talking about something I don't know about. I'm just gonna like leave it alone and let them be. Is that sometimes the approach for you, or do you feel like depending like on the conversation, it's like okay, if it's something that I can talk about, then yeah, I'll jump in, or
Mhm.
like if it's nothing that I know about, I'm just gonna stay out of it.
It's for me. It's a bit of a mix. Like if I see something going on, I just pass by, hear what's going on, see if they think interesting. But for me, it's kind of like it's random. It's like whatever I felt like. But what's more important was that if I wanted to do something, just try it out. I mean, never know. If I hear something interesting, I tag along, ask, hey, what are you doing? Can I join? Something like that.
Yeah, I get it. And like, definitely one of the aspects of making sure you connect with those people and like establish those great relationships is also like having, like you mentioned, the urge to just like take the confidence
Yeah.
and try something different. Like, listen, I know it's not everyone doesn't really obtain that confidence like at the beginning, So don't look at the sense it's like you got to be going after like in this case like the big fish or like go for the bigger events or like try to attract to the most people who are that engageful. Like no, like try to start small. Like if it's one or two people, then that's okay. Like one thing that's I'm gonna say over and over and over again, university is about networking. It's not about grades. Like I don't care what anyone says, unless you're taking a master's or you're going to graduate school. Then fine, get your marks. Like, get your marks up. But other than that, it's about networking. It's about having those connections, establishing those relationships. You want to be doing that, and like,
But
go ahead, Tien.
oh yeah, oh so now you hear me?
Yeah.
Anyway, if I can add, even for masters or like postgraduate study, you still have to network cough with your prof. It's not like you can just ignore them. It's like, hey man, I need a reference. Like you still have to at least talk to them once or else so they know you. But at the top of the day, why you need a reference?
Yeah, definitely.
Think about it. Like I understand reference to a degree for a job, even if the reference is biased. Like, oh my god, he's amazing. Don't know why you need everyone to say that, but okay. But then, but the thing is, you're paying for. Well, you should be paying for postgraduate, right? Like, it's not like it. So why do I have to pay and then after, hi man, I need a reference? That's like the opposite of a job, isn't it? Instead of asking for money, you're begging them to teach you. Here's my money. What do you mean I have to talk to somebody? Hold up, I gotta get them to say I'm amazing on a piece of paper. This is ridiculous. I can't cap on that. That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm joking. I don't literally mean it like that. But you get the idea.
Yeah, man. Bro, I'm so done. Yo. No, for real. Like, you be trying to ask them, like, the professors, like, yo, like, can I get, like, a reference somewhere? And, like, somebody's stingy, too. Like, I remember, like, there are times, like, they're telling you in your lecture classes, like, yo, come by my office. I'm so lonely. You never know. Like, I might give you, like, a reference. And, it could be the biggest thing in your life. And then, like, I'm coming there. I'm trying to ask you, or better yet, if I don't have the time, I might email you, and then somehow you go ghost. It's like, why are you baiting me in only to just like trick me? Like, what's going on?
If I had to guess what happens, maybe they want to meet you in person. Maybe because like online interactions are not the same as like in person.
What's the difference though? Like I'm still messaging you. I'm still in contact with you.
Like,
is that good enough?
Because in person is live. Like you're talking to someone in person live. Like you're not here like typing on a keyboard and they answer on a keyboard, and it's not like a Zoom call or anything. I think it's that in-person connection, which makes a big difference compared to like typey. Hi, I have an issue. Okay, what's your issue? There's a reason why people call customer service and not just text, hey man, you stink. Like they don't do. Let's not kid ourselves, man. Come on, be real. You have a problem with the store? Are you gonna call the store, or are you gonna go in person to complain? Are you gonna email the store, or are you gonna go to the person?
Yeah, I get it. I understand your point for that. But like just trying to like go back to student clubs as a whole, man. Like it really is a great experience, and like even for like university as well. Like you could probably obtain like volunteering hours from that. Again, you could get a reference from those clubs as well. But like I think what university offers, especially in student clubs rather than high school, is just like the different options and different varieties in terms of like what clubs you want to do. Buso is like one of the big clubs that I found, which is like wow, like I didn't think I could find something like this, especially in my first year, because like I know everyone was talking about VCC during like orientation and Frosh Week for me. It's like oh my god, like that has to be like the top club, and like it's so exclusive, and like I have to get in. But then I started going around Vandy College. I'm like, wait a minute, there's an ESA. Wait, there's a public policy club. Like, wait, what? Like, I didn't know there's peer mentors. I'm like, why wasn't this like as hyped up? Why was it just VCC? No disrespect to VCC. Listen, we're not throwing shots here, but it's just like it's shocking how you don't hear that, and like you have to really experience yourself, And like I don't know where's that come from. Is it because like they want you to experience yourself, or it's just like the failure to really be accountable, mention all the clubs all at once, and give it all the respective like love?
If I can add to that and answer the question, it's because, well, for my opinion, it's because orientation week, like it's between usually the student councils and then like York obviously giving them the funding. So the student councils like BCC for any college students. They're the ones kind of organizing the whole week or two for orientation for incoming students. So on paper they're doing most of the work, and then student clubs are just there either to volunteer, help out at the events, or to have that one special day to be like, hey man, we exist. But if you're a new student, you're gonna be like, hey man, BCC, council, student council, I like. But then you see the clubs like, oh yeah. So like,
Mm,
so it makes sense on paper, but on the other hand, if you think about it, there is like a Wi-Fi club tabling, so it's not like clubs are like, oh, we don't care. It's just they have the kind of their own day. But you see council first, and that's the first impression people make.
yeah, that is true. We do have tabling, but like even sometimes too, like some I listen, y'all students, like listen, I understand y'all have like lives and other things to do, but y'all be sometimes be mad disrespectful, like laugh. Like have you ever like set up a table for a club and somehow like they're walking by and they're just laughing and it's just like, listen, I can't read your mind, but I'm like, I know you're not telling just jokes every single time you're passing by the table. I'm like, are you talking about us?
Oh my god.
Like, nah, for real, man, for real, man. Like, go support the smaller clubs, man. Like, we have a role too, man. And don't just go for the big ones and just like, oh, I'm stirring up at this place. It's like, nah, man. Like, support the smaller clubs, please. Like, those are important as well, man.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah, but overall, I would say that the student clubs, like, there's a reason why Tien and I are talking about this today because again, like student club is just one representation of how every person who wants to be an aspiring leader or just a voice, whether it's in the community or like for a business, anything, there's always like a crew that you rock with. And listen, I say this all the time as well. For all the people, I need you to listen to this. Find those ones who are going to hold you accountable for your actions. If you have a bunch of people that are just gonna be like yes men and just like, oh yeah, that's cool, oh yeah, that's great, oh yeah, you're doing a great job, and like has no critique, then they're not really the ones that are going to be deep in your life in terms about what you want to do. And when you finally make it, it won't feel like you've had a huge payoff to it. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, he was just kind of supporting me, but was he really giving me more moral support in terms of like, hey man, like you're doing this, but I think you'd be better if you were like trying this strategy
Mm-hmm.
or like, you know what, like you're doing good, but I think you should change this. If you have those people, it's better because here's the thing, like you can hear a bunch of yeses from one crew, one group, and when you get to the end, it's only you at the top. Or you can have all those times where like you have to take setbacks and people are telling you you have to fix this and fix that. And it feels more genuine. I would rather take the road where it's like I fail or I have to like try again for my mistakes, and then the payoff's much impactful rather than you just saying yes, 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 and I'm walking down a straight line, but then when I get to the end, I turn around, no one's really behind me because you weren't really down the path with me. So like that's really my take on it. I mean, Tien, I don't know if you want to speak on it more a bit, if in your own perspective.
Like, and like what you're saying is true though. Like you want to be surrounded by people who, I guess to put it in simple, just challenge you. But not challenge you in the sense of you're crap, you're terrible, you're shit, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, of course not. Of course not.
But you want to be some people who challenge you, but they want you to be better. Like they want you to be the best you can be. You know? It's more fun to work with people like that, not just feel the like you said, yes men. Like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Let's party. Yeah, let's go. Let's drive. Let's drink. Oh wait, I said that in the mouth. Oh, doesn't it? You see what I mean? Don't drink and drive. Hey man, let's drink. Why? That's a bad idea. Nah, man, it's great. My point is, you want people like that. People who can challenge you. People who can inspire you, or just people who care. You know?
Right, exactly. And guys, it's a two-way street. When you have those people that are challenging you, you have to challenge them back. Don't just be like, all right, cool, cool, cool. And then when they need you, don't be that yes and don't be the ones that are just like giving just subpar advice. No, like you have to be together. You want to have that wolf pack mentality. All like, listen, man, we all mess up, but we all got to get back up together and we're all on this journey. We're going to make it like that. Those are the type of people you rock with. And like, that's why I appreciate like, the people I've surrounded with. I'm surrounded with a group of people that not only support me, but they let me know like, yo, you know what? Like what you're doing, I don't think it's right, or like I feel like you need to change this about yourself, or like you need to fix up. And like those are the people I appreciate. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't mind the ones that are like, hey, I'm just there to there, and that's cool. But I'm gonna have those ones that really care about what I'm doing more in my life, because they're the ones that are really gonna be there when I make it to the end. They're gonna be like, yo, I knew you made it because like you were able to change this about yourself. Yeah, man. It's the truth. It's the truth. No cap. No lies. It's the truth. I
Not
mean,
yet. But I agree with what you said as well. Because
yeah,
in a way, if you think about like university friends, the ones that you're gonna remember after university is over aren't the ones that like you hang out once in a while, and they're the ones who like that you hang out with, but ones that like ask you, "Hey, how's your day? I don't agree with this, but here's what we can do to make it better." Like those are the ones that are more interesting. Those are the ones who you want to keep talking with, not the ones that are like, "Hey, man, we're partying." Woo! Okay, bye. There's a big
that,
difference.
that's so true. That's so true. Especially university. Like, imagine if you're that person that doesn't try to make a huge group of friends. Like, there's gonna be people that you're probably gonna see a lot, like within classes and stuff. And then there's gonna be the people that you meet outside of class. You know, and like that's a huge step as well in terms of like who am I gonna associate with? Am I gonna have a better connection with those that are in my class that I see like every single week at least, or maybe that one friend that yeah we hit it off, but like their schedule is so busy and I'm so busy that we can't really meet that much. Like I met someone and like we talk, but like I know he's busy, he's working, I'm busy, I'm doing my thing as well. But surprisingly, we make it work in the sense like he's always challenging me. And he's always like trying to like find the best in me in terms of like the mistakes that I'm making and like how can you correct them. So again, it really depends on the awareness of the situation and you understanding about how do you approach this. It's not always in the sense like, oh, it's those that you see every single day are gonna have your back. Because trust me, I've seen people that I know for years, like in my like middle school, maybe like elementary days, and I know this like they're not that much of a huge part of my life to people who I literally just met, and it's like they're more in my life than like those I've known for a longer period of time. So like again, it's about awareness and understanding how you approach the situations. But yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of speaking from the heart.
That's true. I'm like nodding somehow. Oh wait. Oh yeah, sorry. My bad. It's not a video thing. My bad. Feels like it though.
Yeah, for sure. I will say this: like, there have been moments where, like, you try to find those people and you're trying to like point out their mistakes, and then like sometimes your judgment can be clouded. Like, I can give a personal experience. So yeah, and I actually told you this over the phone. I feel like I want to share it, and I don't know if the person who is listening to this will ever hear this, but I hope if that person does, then honestly, I've learned from this. So, guys, if you don't know, I am the president of the Business and Society Student Association this year, and things did not start off pretty great. It was a rough start. Actually kicked out a member, and to this day, I really regret it. Yeah, Tien sign. He knows where I'm going with this. So it was such a bad thing on my conscience that I really thought to myself like, why was that the case? Like, why would I even react to something like that? And I realized that at some points, what also makes you a great leader as well is not only from people critiquing you, but you critiquing yourself in the sense that you messed up, you hold yourself accountable for your actions, and you learn from those mistakes, those trials and tribulations. And honestly, I did learn from that. And I will say this: I've now become a more person that's tries to be more patient and not too persistent. Because people know when I'm passionate about something, I like to get at it. But sometimes my persistence gets the best of me. So I try to tell myself, okay, let me just take a step back. Let me just reevaluate the situation and move at a slower pace. And I feel now more than ever, I've probably been more calm. I've been really focused, but at the same time, I still know what I want without the constant, rush to get it done so quickly. Like it's not even just like classes and like clubs and anything, just like anything in general. It just shows. Like, I honestly, when it came to like, really looking back at it, I still regret the decision, and I don't want to go detail into more. But I mean, Tien knows what happened afterwards. Um,
And if I can comment on that, like the issue, like in my opinion, wasn't necessarily that you like just kicked it out. It was more that you just did it on the spot. No taking the time to think about it. It was just like in the moment, bye. Like that was a bit too fast, especially for something that the other members needed to know ahead of time. Like it would be nice, like, hey, I just want to know like what do you think of this person, but just in a neutral way, not in the this person's crap. What's your opinion? Like you know what I mean?
mhm.
It was just too like you have to take time to think about that, and that's why the mistake came in. It's like as tempting as to act quickly, don't be like boy and do things too fast. You'll make some dumbass mistakes.
Right, right. Fair, absolutely factual point right there. So, again, to the person who's listening to this, you know who you are. I've learned, and I've learned that sometimes you can't let something like get the best of you in terms of like the heat of the moment, But again, Tien, I did explain the full story, so
Yep.
I don't want to like fully get into it, but again, I'm gonna just say right here, I was accountable for that, and I've now learned that sometimes it's good to have that passion, but you also need to know how to control it and really understand
Mm-hmm.
and just take life slowly, But yeah, I didn't want to get too sappy. I want to like bring back the energy up a bit. So
I have a question for you, Sean.
yeah, go
You
ahead.
know how in your podcast in that episode where you talk about your experience at York, you mentioned how last year Busa wasn't in a to put it nicely, it was shit, right? So how did you go from this club is crap to I'm gonna be president of that crap club? How does that happen, man? What's your like? How'd you do that?
You really about to mention something like that? What the heck?
No, because you said it yourself. I mean, hey, you set that up.
Like,
Someone
look,
has to
man.
ask.
Look, man. Like, I love Boost, not just the club, the program.
Mhm.
It's just amazing the different conversations, the different people you meet. It's such an intriguing subject matter. Like, it's something that you see every single day, whether it's within like accounting or you have to deal with like different practices like corporate social responsibility, business ethics, the global economy, social economy. Like you see it all around. So it's like me learning that, I kind of felt like I was learning about something every single day, and it was like amazing. I got to hear people share their personal like takes on it, and it was like whether it was like a normal conversation where everyone's along, or even like times where it kind of came into a debate where people are like literally bickering at each other. It was so great, and it reflected on me with the club. The club. Now look, I feel like I can't talk because I'm in the club. So it's like if you want to say I'm a walking contradiction, by all means, go ahead and say that.
But I just don't get how you go from like this club is shit. Next year, I'm running this club.
Well,
How?
I think it's literally what I just said. It's
Yeah.
that it's very easy. Okay, so like, here's an example I'll use that I think everyone knows. WWE. It's
Mm-hmm.
not in the best condition right now. It is garbage.
People being like what's I'm looking for? Not laid off. Contract being like it's like that fire basically, left and right. Like what is going on? It's
Like
weird.
WWE is not in the best state. It is terrible. But for a very long period, I still wanted the product to get better. And I think it's been this philosophy of mine where I see things that aren't look really going as the way it is. I come between this thin line where like I talk garbage, not because I actually hate it, but I think I'm so passionate. I wanted to see it get better. Like
Ah, okay.
Busto last year, nothing. And I like listen. I may have like misconstrued my words. It wasn't shit. We didn't do nothing. It was the pandemic. We couldn't
Mm-hmm.
really do anything. We weren't in person, so it wasn't much to do. But it was that because I told myself, you know what, I want to be the president for this year, and I am, and we're really doing a lot. We have a meet and greet coming up. We're relaunching our club podcast. We have a couple academic events coming up. And it's not just me, it's the crew I have as well. Like I said, every leader needs a crew, because here's the thing. You can call yourself a one-man wrecking crew, a one-woman wrecking crew, but at the end of the day, you always need the support of others to really get to what dreams you as a team has, but also what yourself has. That's what you really build upon. So yeah, again, I said some things in the last episode, but it was the passion. And again, I'm learning that, sometimes if my passion gets way too out of control, then, I have to say, let me take a step back. So that's one thing I've learned. But also, if anyone has heard the last episode too, that was late night. You know how I get late night. I get very toxic.
I know, but nobody's like, hey, Shon, we need an episode. No one's going to be like, we need at 8:30 p.m.
No,
like,
no. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I was planning to do it in the afternoon, but the thing is, it's like, what happened was, like, I was so busy with classes and stuff, so I'm like, all right, let me just drop it. Because everyone knows I drop, like, at noon on Fridays. And, like, I told you guys, like, I'm doing this presidential run. I do it once a year where I drop, like, a slew of episodes. Because, like, guys, you don't realize. There's so many episodes I wanted to drop. I could drop probably 2 podcasts a week. I could. But I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do that. Like, let me just save it for a special week where I go off. So, like, these are the different things. Like, this Yorkview experience thing I did, I've had this in the back of my mind for, like, months. So, that's why, like, you're getting these episodes now. I told you, it's a presidential run. But don't forget, there's a big announcement coming at the end. That's why I'm doing this.
But it's really weird to go from one episode, like, I'm ranting, to, like, hey, guys, we're talking about Oscar. Like, well, that's
you know what?
Thematically, it's like, how did that happen? Like,
hey, that's the thing about the safe room, man. You just don't know what to get. It's unexpected.
But then your rants, the very dramatic rants, man. Like, if I'm so happy that York was so bad that I got this podcast. Wow. Oh my god. Like,
it's life, man. It's like, hey, listen, but that goes to show that you listen to the podcast, man. So I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, I think one of my favorite parts was when your mom interrupted you. And you didn't even cut it. Oh, that was funny. I'm like, you couldn't cut it, man.
Just like
it was so random, like no build up. Like in the middle of your, oh bro, I am angry. Oh, hey mom, in the middle.
Yo, no. Yeah, see, like I told you, the same room. Like we're just here. We're having fun, man. We're having fun. Yeah. Anyway, man. So I guess the moral of this entire conversation, guys, like find your crew, find those people that are gonna encourage you, but also like give you the smart critique, the professional critique, not the ones that are gonna bash you and like, oh my god, you're garbage, bro, you're a waste, you'll never make it. Like, no, like find those ones that are gonna give you that critique that's gonna encourage you to get to the next step and want you to be successful. And you should wish the same thing for them as well. Like, listen, like Kevin and I, we've been boys. Like, he's been supporting me, but I've been like pushing about this Kevin for so hard as well. I'd be like, yo, dude, I remember back in high school, we always said that, yo, dude, like, when are you gonna get a job? Like, when are you gonna do this? When are you gonna do that? And he's like, yo, chill, man, chill. I'm like, what? I'm just saying. It's that love, it's the love you gotta show for the community, man. Like, we're all like trying to just make something out of it, because the government and these institutions, they're just gonna be like fugazi and shit.
How much money did we spend on that election again?
About yo, this is just a cool $500 just to get the same result 2 years ago.
And what's funny? Like, in my opinion, the liberals were probably better having that election than not, because the opposition they look worse.
Bro, no, listen. Everyone knows, like, the liberals, they were not happy with a minority. They wanted to do this because they're like, we want majority. We're petty. We want majority.
Yeah. But what's funny? How did the opposition not take advantage of that? Like, everyone knows the election wasn't necessary, and they still couldn't win.
Yeah, listen.
They couldn't change it.
We're not talking about the election. It's over.
Know.
It's done. I don't want to talk about it.
Nothing changes. That's true.
Yeah, it's whatever. But just to sum it up, guys, make sure you have that awareness when you're choosing your crew. I can say I have a fantastic crew, a fantastic group of supporters, and I'm supporting them. Again, that's what this podcast is about. I like to bring people on the podcast like Thien, like, Leanne, like Destiny, like Karen, Lucy, Pravina, all the people you can name, Dominique. Joel, like I can go on. Like I can like that's why I bring them on, not only to just like have these conversations, but hopefully I give them a platform to share what they want to do, what dreams or what businesses, what drives they have. So that way, I'm connecting you to their platform and it's just a chain reaction. So that's what it's all about, man. Tien, do you have any final words?
Let's see. Final words. In terms of I have to say something about clubs. Like, what's your opinion about like having events online versus in person?
Honestly, I just wish we could do like events in person because
Yeah.
like let me tell you, so I was just in Vanny like last week, ghost town. Like no one's in there. Like VCC is empty. Like that's how bad it is. Like no one's on campus, and I'm thinking to myself like, yo, we gotta do this in person because like this meet and greet we're having, it's online, and like you're probably thinking to yourself, you know what? Maybe for this event specifically, it may work. It
Yeah.
would be nice to like see people in person, be like, hey, like just like really talk instead of like in front of a screen.
And if I can add, like my experience has been very different of all our events that we hang out with online. Like it's hard to like just jump into a Zoom call and be like, "Hey guys," versus just walking there in the room in person, right? Like
Yeah,
it's very different. And don't get me started, people don't know how to do Zoom properly.
that is true. No, listen, like if you know, you know. Like some of the Brusso like members today, like I know Nicholas. We met him because he came to one of our events.
Mhm.
It was games night. So like the power of being in person, it's strong, and like you would love to see it, but like just like what can you do? Like I said, we're in a whole panoramic right now.
Mhm. And like even like when we're like talking to our friends, like and even if the other execs, like we do more work in person. Like we connect with each other in person, right? Like it's just not the same online. It's not the same like through WhatsApp. Like sure, like WhatsApp, we type, we communicate, but the connection's not to the same level as in person. Like, hey guys, we're here, let's get something done.
Right. Yeah, it's just like it's a lot to adjust to. I mean, I guess any student right now could agree the best part. At least you don't have to commute, you know?
Yay! Like, sure, there are solutions to having student groups, like having a Discord server, paying up, like, sure, but it's not the same as just going to the club.
Yeah, I
It's not the
mean,
same.
I was in the Booster office for the first time in 2 years. It felt so good. It felt so good just being in there, just like feeling the environment. And then when I came back home, I felt sad. I'm like, damn,
Really? But doesn't that room smell?
bro, are you really about to put the Booster room blast on the podcast, dude?
No. I meant that shouldn't it smell because people haven't been in there for so long? Because
No,
remember,
well, no,
campus is closed.
surprisingly, it's not. It's not.
Really?
Yeah,
Even after the whole pandemic?
it's
Wow,
fine. It really is fine.
that's surprising. Like air
Yeah.
conditioning was wow. I guess the way how student tuition was going. Get it?
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Oh my god.
But yo, Tien, bro, appreciate you being on the podcast, man. Really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Feels weird to be on a second podcast. That felt weird.
Yeah.
Because I have to tell myself, don't say anything related to sports. Don't say it.
Thank you guys for listening to the Safe Room podcast. Make sure you guys follow me at Instagram at the Safe Room podcast. The big announcement, you know what? I'm not even gonna say anything because I'll be dropping like as of recording today, I will be dropping something. I mean, this episode will go up on Monday, but just a little sneak peek like right now. Like I'm about to drop something tonight.
I mean, you'll drop something.
No, actually, something it will drop. I told you, I'm literally editing it right now, so like it's gonna be done.
Mm, we'll see.
Yeah. So
We'll see.
thank you guys for listening to the Safer Podcast. And guys, also go check out Court Advantage too, man. Like, listen, I have a second one. We have a second one. Like, don't forget CAP. Come on now. Like, come on. Like, listen, if you
I'll cap on that. You could have told me we could have. You could have told. I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's like upset.
It's always
It's like,
bro. You could. So what happens when we just say as we go along?
Yeah, man. He ends up saying, he's like, come on, man. Like, you could have, like, got me on court advantage. Like, what's going on, man?
But I'm already on court advantage in some capacity.
Yeah.
So technically, like, hey, man, we're gonna, name drop our other pod. Would have been nice to tell him at the beginning so we could find it out in a really cordial fashion. What's next? We're gonna have a third podcast?
No, whoa, that's overkill.
I'm joking.
Anyway, guys, thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.